basically that people are trying to sabotage Bola Ahmed Tinubu the same way they sabotaged Abiola, whereas it is Fulani that sabotaged Abiola, not Yoruba nation. If it were the Yoruba nation that actually sabotaged Abiola, why do you think they went into Nadeko and fought very, very vigorously? You don't think that we know what they plan? What they plan to do before is that they basically Nigeria is an Islamic country. So after an Islamic so-called Buhari administration, an Islamic Tinubu administration will take over. That's what they want to do. After Tinubu's Islamic administration, then El Rufai will take over from the north. Islamic. That's what they want to do. They think we don't know. Of course we know. We know all their stupid, childish games. That is why they say that the Yorubas are their wives and their slaves, turning history upside down. Yoruba that fought very hard for June 12th. You are now saying that the Yoruba people sabotaged Abiola when it was you people in the north that said no to Abiola. Did Abiola not bankroll and finance all of you from the Janjaweed north? Wasn't Abiola very close to Babangida? Did he not finance Babangida? Was Abiola not a Muslim the same way that Tinubu is? You killed him, and now you're turning around. Do you see how they behave? You're now turning around to blame Yoruba for the death of their son. How sad you people are. They say that these are the same people who are now instigating misunderstanding and problems between Southerners and Northerners, not Yoruba and Hausa as he claimed before. See the way they keep playing with words. If you are very foolish, you fall for it. If you're very foolish, you fall for it. But now you can understand the reason why they have given money to Facebook, given money to the media in the zoo to cover all these things. That is what they do. That is what they specialize in. Lies and deception. Lies and deception. And that is why here on this platform, we keep exposing them. Here on this platform, we keep exposing them. And we shall continue to do so until the zoo disintegrates beyond recognition. Go and read it up. They say that Yoruba is their slave. And continuing on this vein, that is the reason why every time they lie, they deceive. There is that girl called Kadira Ahmed. That people are now saying, oh, what she said is correct. But they think that we don't know history. We know everything happening in this zoo because we are part and parcel of the extremism, the banditry, the lawlessness, the insecurity brought about by the Fulani Janjaweed. We know all of that. These people talking rubbish today, they can never rise up. The same Kadira Ahmed cannot rise up and say it is not a good thing that every service chief is Fulani, that every head of a security agency is Fulani. She will never condemn it. She will never condemn the fact that the head of customs is Fulani, head of immigration Fulani, everything is Fulani. She will never say it. Because they think all of you are stupid. They think you are foolish. But how mistaken they are. How mistaken. Somebody wrote that this Kadira Ahmed is good at doing what their forefathers did, which is takia, to deceive you. Because in Islam is allowed to use lies and deception to defeat unbelievers, the infidels, as they call them. This girl, Kadira Ahmed, who was crying, she was in Zamfara, crying that bandits have run them over in Zamfara. She was the one who was crying. Now, people from the south are saying, no, we don't want to cry the same way you cried in Zamfara. She's complaining. Do you see how they behave? This same girl has never ever condemned El Rufai. All of you listening to my program, even those listening from under the bed, those hiding behind their wife's wrapper, listening to us, you know what I'm saying to be correct. Who amongst you doesn't know that it was Governor El Rufai of Kaduna State that went to West African countries, to the Sahel region, to pay his fellow Fulani murderers and killers to stop killing people in southern Kaduna? How did they get into the country? How those that El Rufai went to pay money to stop coming to southern Kaduna to kill people, how did they get into the country? None of you can ask yourselves this question. Your brain, I don't know what you do with your brain cells. What is the function of your brain? Is it just to eat, to procreate, to steal, to cheat, to lie, to gossip? Is that all your brain is there for? El Rufai, by his own admission, the governor of Kaduna State, traveled out of Nigeria to go and give money to some people. Who are those people he gave money to? They asked him. He said, these are killers and murderers from the Sahel. They are Fulani. They came to avenge the death of the Fulani head in Kaduna State. You traveled outside to go and pay killers, not to come in to kill. How did these killers come in anyway? So are you saying these killers, they crossed the borders of the north with AK-47 and no immigration officer stopped them? Oh, no, sorry. They came in and somebody gave them weapons in Nigeria. Who gave them weapons with which they killed in southern Kaduna in Nigeria, the Nigerian army? All of you know all these things. You keep hiding. You keep dodging the truth all the time. Why, I ask? And I ask this question to that young woman, Kadira Ahmed. Kadira Ahmed, I'm asking her, did you condemn El Rufai when he went to pay your fellow Fulani people in the Sahel to stop killing us in Southern Kaduna? What did you say then? You said nothing, because you're Fulani. You people are part and part, including Atiku Abubakar. They are all in this game. Did you see how they defend themselves? They can never condemn what is going on. All these people that he needs together. And one idiot from the East will writing rubbish against ESN. Do you see how the Fulanis are cooperating? Now they want to enter into Yoruba. They want to enter into their psyche, into their brain. Oh, we are one people. Remember, you Yorubas, you have Muslims in your midst. Because of that, remember, we are one. You are our slave. You are our wife. We appointed you to all the positions you had in the past. Because of that, join us to go to the East and cross. That is a simple game plan. Unless you're intelligent enough, you to understand it. But that's what we know. We know they'll go to Yoruba first. So after Yoruba, they'll come to the East and then they'll die there. But in the meantime, they want to use Hopo Zodema and George Obiozo to prop up Imo State as the flag bearer of Islamic Janjaweedism in the East. From today, anywhere you see George Obiozo, arrest him. From today, take it on Hong Kong. They are mad. They want to turn Imo State into a caliphate, a mini caliphate, so that the Janjaweed can come in and tell us, oh, we are all co-owners of Nigeria and Imo State, for that matter. They said with Rochas or Aboga. Rochas, Aboga. I don't know even why they're still bringing in Pampas. You know, he wears Pampas now. I don't know why they're still bringing it in. You know what I mean? When a man starts wearing Pampas, you know what is going on. I don't have to tell you much. But listen to me very carefully. El Rufai is the governor of Kaduna State. No Fulani, Janjaweed, so-called frontline politician or journalist condemned him. Nothing at all. This was the same governor that won, a hoodlum that warned foreign observers that came to monitor elections that if APC doesn't win, he will kill them and send them back in body bags. That is why I'm in the USA, but El Rufai cannot come to the USA. Supposedly, I'm a terrorist and a criminal. He's a governor, executive governor. Places I go to, he cannot go to those places. I'm in America. El Rufai cannot come here. He cannot, because he is the real terrorist. Because the world knows he's the terrorist. Do you know one funniest thing that people don't know? Let me shock everybody who is listening now. It may come to you as a surprise. Do you know that Boko Haram has never ever been designated as a terrorist group in Nigeria? Do you know that? I heard this very morning. I was listening to Megun's diary, a brilliant young man that speaks the truth. It was there. He said it, and I said that is true. And do you know when efforts were going on in the USA to designate Boko Haram a terrorist group, do you know that Britain was against it? Do you know that Britain was against labeling Boko Haram as a terrorist group? Do you know that Nigeria never tagged Boko Haram as a terror group? That was why they were calling them insurgents then. You never hear Fulani man or in government call Boko Haram a terrorist group, never. If you go to where they do their gazetting in the zoo, you will not see Boko Haram as a terrorist group. Go and check. It was the United States of America that designated Boko Haram as a terrorist group. But IPOB is a terrorist group to Fulani. They think they're clever, you know. They think they're so smart. You think you can use the tag of terrorism to shackle us, to bind us together, to chain us to your stupidity. So we will not talk, we won't speak. And then your people from the Sahel will be slaughtering and murdering their way all the way to the Atlantic. Is that what you think? And then we will allow you to do it? All of you are insane. That is to tell you how hypocritical Nigeria is, and especially the so-called Fulani upper looting class. I won't call them elite, because elitism connotes a lot of things that these people, it has a lot of qualities to it that these people will never ever aspire to nor meet in their entire existence on this very earth. They are useless. They are nothing, absolutely nothing. Today we are going to teach them what they don't know. Who will be more dangerous than Governor al-Bashir, Bununu of Bauchi State, who amid the tension already in the country felt that it was appropriate to have Fulani headsmen continue to carry AK-47 when elements within them were proven to be involved in kidnappings and killings across the whole South. You come to the South, you kill us. You want us to be singing hallelujah as you're slaughtering us. As some pastors will, all they're concerned about is offering and tithe. But I do commend most of the pastors that have spoken. Some preachers came up to condemn what is going on. That is one that always speaks very, very consistently about the evil and dangers of Fulani Janjaweedism. Nobody can condemn them. To tell that what is happening, the present state of insecurity in the country was well planned by the Fulani and the British. They planned it together. Britain said to them, don't worry, we'll control the world. Don't worry, don't worry. Go ahead and slaughter them. And that's what they're doing. And doing it in earnest. That is why we are here today preaching this very gospel. The time now is exactly 1 minute past 1 p.m. here. It's in the afternoon in Houston, Texas, because the world is spinning. You know, before I never believed. And when I was young, I felt that if it was dark, you know, it's dark everywhere else in the world. Until I went to secondary school, and at class 2, we learned that the world is actually round and it is spinning, traveling at the speed of over 1,000 miles per hour. As we are right now, the world is spinning. That is why nothing stands still. Nothing can be in one place. That is how nature is. Nature was designed in a way that you cannot stand in one place. If you do, something will happen to you. Even not a glass of water. If you leave a glass of water in one place, it will start to smell after a while. See this water you drink. Go and fetch water now and put it in one place. Outside, just cover it. After 3 months, come back to that water and smell it. It will start smelling. Normally, water shouldn't have any smell, because nature abhors anything that stands still. And in the zoo, most of you are standing still. Most of your brains are standing still. You do not follow the times. You are not working with the tide of the time. That is why Fulani can deceive all of you. Come out with all these nonsensical statements, and you believe them. Let me tell you, know what I've done? You see, you can go online on social media and you can find newspapers commenting and writing things about Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, and etc. If you go to Google, you cannot see it. If you go to Google, if you Google my name right now, all the news you will see is 1 week old, 1 month, 2 months, and all of them negative. Some of you don't understand that we are in the heat of a battle. You cannot see it. Go there, you will see what I'm telling you. All the news, every news where we've been critical of what is happening in the zoo, where we've highlighted what's happening in the zoo, they will never report it. You cannot see it online, never. If you go to Google search or any search engine, you will see it. Because they are prepared. With a war chest of 30 billion, every white consultancy firm, every firm of lawyers and media and PR firms in the Western world wants a chunk of it. And we are human beings. Sometimes when you give somebody $3 million to try to suppress a news that doesn't affect your family, conscience will go through the window. That's exactly what is happening. And that is why idiots like Kadir Ahmed can come up and be spewing all this trash and you allow them. That is why they will have the temerity to rise up and say that Yoruba people are their slaves, and all of you are quiet and doing nothing about it. Very, very sad indeed. They will never understand the reason why Yoruba youths are fighting to keep their land, because headsmen went to Ogun State, slaughtered a woman, and dumped her corpse behind Obasanjo's farm in Ota, in Ogun State. They killed a Yoruba woman in her farm and dumped her body behind Obasanjo's farm. Because Obasanjo was one of those instrumental in the coming of Buhari. They said to Obasanjo, we made you who you are. We appointed you. Whoever you are today is down to our patronage. Because of that, you must support this murderer, this killer called Buhari. And he did. But thankfully, Buhari died. That is why Aisha ran away. Because I preached about Aisha a few days ago. Today in the news, there is a news. One group commend Aisha. She's 50 years old, a young girl to me. Aisha is a small girl to me. Aisha, who in the village should be calling me dead. Some of you bow before her. You say we are small boy. Of course, thank goodness. Please continue to call me a small boy. I love it. Oh. That is why I'll keep looking young. I am older than Aisha Buhari. Aisha is a baby. Aisha in the village. If I come, she'll prepare food for me to eat. I'm older than her by over 3 years. Aisha is a baby to me. In our culture, once somebody's older than you by 2 years, you call them dead, or that's how it's done. Not now that this Indomie generation that have no respect. She's 50. She's in Dubai, partying with her boyfriend from Niger Republic. His name is Yusuf Abubakar Mohammed. He is the one wearing Buhari's mask. And we shall expose them. I don't know if you will be shocked the day we will expose them even more. Because you are running away from the truth. Then we bring the truth to you. Since you're running from the truth, we shall endeavor to be. They killed the Kadina Ahmed will not tell you this. Those talking about Yoruba being their slave and their wife, they won't tell you about this. Ishola was abducted around 11 a.m. on Monday. Monday, a few days ago, 2 days ago. She was found dead the following day. Fulani headsmen killed her. Fulani Janjaweed. They are everywhere. We are the only ones stopping them. Only IPOB. That is why I am so proud of this family you don't know. Sometimes people say he's arrogant. Why wouldn't I be? I have the finest family in the world, in the history of the world. Behind every move we make, every utterance we make. Why shouldn't I be proud of them? That Nigeria is still existing and not a caliphate today is down to IPOB. Nobody else. No human being. If Nigeria restructures, down to the resistance of IPOB. Because we resist the Janjaweed. That is why even the little concession they have made, that's why they want to try Yorubas for the last time. If Yoruba were to stand strong now, people will be wondering, but why is he preaching about Yoruba? Because that is where the Achilles heel lies. If Yoruba remains very strong, the future will be bright. But if they capitulate under this, we are used to it. IPOB, you can throw your propaganda from now to yesterday. It doesn't concern us. I'm telling you the truth. It doesn't. You can talk you can bring your BBC to run their documentary. You can bring all of them to write their rubbish. It doesn't affect us. We continue what we're doing. Yoruba must be strong now, today. Yoruba must be strong today in order to defeat these evil people there, because they are evil. They are evil. If you want to stay in Biafra land, you go to the township and live there. If you stay in the villages, you're looking for trouble. And if you're looking for trouble, you are going to get it. Once you get it, you are finished. Once you get it, you are finished. That is something that people must understand. That trouble you are looking for, once you get it, you are gone. You are finished. You are finished. Because we are not going to relent. We are not going to retreat. We're not going to surrender. Be rest assured. And Hope Uzodinma thinks is very clever. You know these idiots that go like these fools that go to the north. They think they're very smart. They think they have brain. They think other people don't, because they've done 419. They've done 419. They have done Yahoo before. But Hope Uzodinma and Dave Umahi, because they have been doing obtaining by tricks, writing email, convincing people and duping them. They think they can dupe us. That's what they think. They can use their trickery, their email, their Yahoo skills to trick us into buying our own chain with which the Fulani will enslave all of us. But heaven will forbid. They cannot succeed. Not now, not tomorrow, not ever. I don't know why some people take time to be convinced. Why should you take time to be convinced? Why? I'm asking you. Why? Can you not see what is going on? Can't you see what is happening? I ask you, are all of you deaf and dumb and blind? You cannot see what is going on. You cannot see what is happening. Can you not see it? Lekki gone. Is Lekki not finished? Do you know why the protest in Lekki ended? Because there was no IPOB in it. Because we didn't give the order for them to come out in Lagos. And the protest after 2.5 hours, the whole thing collapsed. It collapsed. Next time they will know how important we are. But what I'm saying to all of you today, to those of you who may not know, to those of you who are hard at hearing, to those of you who are finding it very difficult to understand why we do what we do, is that if you do not do what we are asking you to do, then you are in very, very serious trouble. I assure you, you will sink. Fulani Janjaweed will swallow you whole. And then in your next life, you'll be looking and begging for IPOB family to join. But today, it is not too late. It is not too late today. You must come out to do the needful. And the needful is supporting everything that IPOB is doing. If you support us, you will live. If you don't support us, you will die. Something that we used to say before, when we say, they will say, oh, he's talking nonsense. He doesn't know what he's saying. Today, even Wole Soyinka, but I keep saying, going back to Wole Soyinka, because the people allowing this nonsense to happen in Nigeria are Yoruba. I'm saying it in the open. If the Yorubas put their feet down to say enough is enough, all this nonsense will come to an end. That's why they're running to them. Because they know that the Yorubas cannot be complaining about the same thing that the Biafrans are complaining about. Oduduwa and Biafra cannot be, because if we say what we are saying, they'll say, oh, the reason why they want, because they are rebels. Ojukwu says that they are rebels. Britain can sell that narrative to the world. But if the same thing that Biafrans are complaining about, Yorubas are complaining about the same thing at the same time, the world is now under obligation to listen, because these two people cannot be mad at the same time. Do you see the trick there? Do you see what the Fulanis are trying to do? Because now the Yoruba people are complaining, and all the submissions, all the correspondence that the Yorubas have sent to all world bodies corresponds with what IPOB has been doing for years. And it is in the same Nigeria, the same geopolitical space. So what Britain told Fulani to do now is go and get the Yorubas to be on your side. If you get them to be on your side, when the Biafrans are complaining, the world will say, oh, you just want to secede. But once Yoruba is saying the same thing that the Igbos are saying, that Biafrans are saying, then the world will now listen. Do you see their trick? That is why I keep referencing Wole Soyinka, because he was one of those that supported Buhari when the idiot was alive. When the murderer was alive, when Buhari was alive, Wole Soyinka was one of those that supported him, because Jonathan was a soft touch. Anybody can kick him to the curb, but not Buhari and the Fulani Janjaweed. He supported them. I don't know how much they gave him. He supported them. Let us hear what he has to say. We are always right. As I keep saying, we always win. All those who are doubting us, can't you reason for once? Why is it that at the end of the day, everybody justifies IPOB's position? And no matter what you do, you come back to acknowledge that we are right after all. Let us listen to Wole Soyinka again on the issue of who is in Asarok. Everybody knows that Buhari is dead. They know that. Even Okoko, fowl, chicken knows in Asarok that the idiot is no longer there. Where is Aisha? Where is Aisha, your second lady or is it third lady? Where is she? Because you people are... That is why, anyway, Trump looked at Africans and said, hey, these people are jokers. There is no honor, there is no dignity. People are born in lies, steeped in deception, and they think we are all like them. That is why they open their mouth, and they yap gibberish all the time. I want to prove to you that Buhari is dead. Listen to Wole Soyinka, for goodness sake. This UG.
What happened to me with this incident is just typical of what's happening to millions of people all over the country. And we cannot just sit still and say we're relying on central help when obviously it's not coming.
Are you listening to that?
Does not appreciate the situation. He doesn't understand. I see no evidence that he understands how grave the situation is. I've said it again and again. I don't believe he's in charge because it's not possible.
What? What did he say?
State the commander-in-chief. I see no evidence that he understands how grave the situation is. I've said it again and again. I don't believe he's in charge because it's not possible, in my view, for a head of state, a commander-in-chief of the armed forces, to say he's presiding over a nation and things get to this level. Something is critically wrong in the leadership, within the leadership of this nation. And that is where we see.
Are you listening? There is nowhere on this earth you will have a commander-in-chief. School children are being abducted, people are being slaughtered every day, and the idiot keeps quiet and keeps speaking through Garba Shehu. If Garba Shehu wants to die, let him come out and say he's the leader of the Fulani Janjaweed cabal running the zoo called Nigeria, headquartered in Asorok. I don't know how else you want it. Buhari is not there. There is no way, even if he's a cockroach who is in charge of any nation in the world, no country can be going through what the zoo is going through. And the president will not speak. Nowhere on this earth, only in the zoo. Do you see why I call Nigerians animals? They don't reason. They never ever reason. Do you see it? Well, Shenka is telling you that you don't have anybody there. There is nobody in Asorok because it defies logic that you have a commander-in-chief of the armed forces, and this is going on, and the idiot decided to say nothing. Garba Shehu will come out and tell us, he's his style. Since when? This was a man that went to Yoruba land to go and warn them about the clashes between the so-called North and the West. When he wasn't the head of state, some of you don't read, you don't know your history. Buhari went to the same one to go and warn them. When there was a clash in the past, when he wasn't even then the head of state, talk less of now that people are dying everywhere, including his beloved Katsina, where his mother comes from. Who doesn't know that Buhari is not a Nigerian? That Buhari's father came with duck to sell and met the mother from Daura and married her. Who doesn't know that? Only stupid, idiotic Nigerians. Fools everywhere. Idiots everywhere. That's why I insult you, because you don't reason. Once you're a Nigerian, you have no brain. You cannot reason very well. Shenka is telling you, you cannot have any head of state anywhere in the world. Now, anything I say, Garba Shehu, anything that Femi Adesina says, you should consider there is the president saying it in a time of crisis, in a time of war, more or less, internal strife, threat to life and limb, and you're telling us that what you say we should regard as the president talking. And I'm sure, having said this now on Radio Biafra today, believe you me, before 7 days, the idiot will speak, or before the month runs out. They will record, they will put, using deep fake video and artificial intelligence AI, they will put something together and play for you, not live. They won't allow journalists to ask him questions, which is, anyway, he's having fun. I don't know if he takes tramadol or ecstasy. He's a young man, very active. To have kept Aisha Buhari in Dubai, keeping her busy all this while in Dubai, he is no mean feat. The young man is having fun in Dubai. All of you are shouting one Nigeria in the zoo. Man, bunch of animals everywhere. We are live and we are direct, and we have to preach the truth here. You may not like it, but we have to preach it. Wole Soyinka, I don't believe Buhari is in charge, because it is not possible for a commander-in-chief of the armed forces to say he's presiding over a nation and things get to this level. Common sense, which we don't have in Africa. That was why the white man colonized us. That was why the white people came to Africa and divided us into pieces, because we do not reason. Oh, my goodness me. Very, very sad indeed. But I thank him for his candor. At least he's admitting now that the Fulani cattle clashed with his lettuce and cucumber. He is now speaking up until it affects you. And these are the intelligent class, so to speak. You will stay there and watch evil happen to other people and you say nothing until it affects you, until your family is suffering. Then now you speak. Typical black people. Typical black people. Until it affects you. When somebody's corpse, so another family is bereaved, it doesn't affect you until you suffer the same thing. What is wrong with you black people? What on earth is wrong with you people? What is wrong with your brain? Yoruba, you are there. The daughter of Pafashiranti was killed. Your forest taken over, and they are coming to preach to you that you are one before, whereas they are in your forest. Tell Fulani, if you want to prove to us that we are one, vacate our forest. Nobody is living in the forest in the north. No southerner is living in the forest in the Janjaweed core north. Nowhere. Each time they bypass the debate, each time they bypass farmer-header clash. How can a farmer be in the south? You bring your cattle from the north, you say it's a clash. You come into my farm and you destroy my crops, you're calling it a clash. Oh, Chineke Namendia, but on this huge black people, black. God forbid. God forbid. You saw these so-called bandits, Fulani, kidnapping school children over and over again. They kidnap school children. Over and over again, they keep kidnapping school children. Why is it you don't ask yourself this question? Who are the people committing these crimes? The same people, the same Fulani every blessed day. Somebody said, we learned how to kidnap. Somebody said, we learned how to kidnap from the Niger Delta people. That's what they said, from Niger Delta militants. That was how they learned how to kidnap. That was what somebody, a Janjaweed, opened his mouth and said, a Janjaweed from the north. Now, let me ask you something. In the history of everything you may have written or heard about Niger Delta militancy, did you hear any day that they kidnapped school children? Did you hear ever before that anything, even during the worst times of insecurity in the South, that anywhere that school children were kidnapped? Is only in Janjaweed North, and they're bringing it down. Until you lose any of your children, until they kidnap your child, you will not be able to rise up and condemn what is evil. That is what makes you a black person. You are not black for no reason. You are black because of your wickedness. And I'm saying this without apologies to anybody. Because if we black people are not wicked, why must we wait until something affects us before we take action? Why? I'm very, very upset, honestly speaking. Very, very upset. I'm not happy about what is going on in the damnable zoological republic. In the damnable zoological republic, they kidnapped school children at a place called Kagara. Bandits with RPG. Kadira Ahmed will not see it and comment on it. Never. Arewa United or whatever they call, the idiots call themselves, they can never see such and condemn it. You saw school children with so-called bandits. Have you heard of any condemnation from any Fulani governor? What concerns them are those they sent into your bushes to slaughter you and to take over your land. Is it making sense now to all of you? I believe it is. I believe it is. Abdul Salami Abubakar, Nigeria is moving towards this thing. Why won't the zoo listen to him? He is actually, you know, they have no shame. Maybe I should stop talking about them. They have no shame, these people. These are the people that drafted or copied the constitution in such a way or skewed it in such a way that Fulani gets everything. You and I know that Fulani cannot run a country. Let us be honest. Stop deceiving yourselves. Fulani cannot run a country. You know that very well. Only by moving cattle from place to place. You are aware of all this nonsense, yet this janjaweed, they put together a constitution. Today he's complaining. Nigeria moving towards this. Why would it will disintegrate? Oh? It must. Oh. I don't know for my Yoruba brothers. If they like, let them go and join their Fulani once again. That is their business. I don't care. But it will disintegrate. The zoo must disintegrate. Because this time around, we owe no apologies to anybody. We're not begging UN. Before it's, UN, can you come and do a referendum? No, we are not begging you. Britain will convince you to side the Fulani under the guise of one Nigeria to attack us. And then you see what God will do to mankind. You think that coronavirus is a joke. You will see how God will destroy all of you, one after the other. So come and join them once again. Because that is what Britain does. That's the only job that Britain does, to support evil. Have you, these people kidnapped, school children kidnapped by Fulani? Have you heard Britain condemn it? Will you see it on BBC News? BBC, are you telling me that a busload of children were kidnapped in Egypt? It will be everywhere. Everywhere. Ask yourself why. Is because once BBC reports it, the world will ask them, who are those doing this kidnapping anyway? They will say it's Fulani headsmen or Fulani terrorists. Britain doesn't want Fulani to get a bad name. That is why the kidnapping of children doesn't affect them. It doesn't affect them at all, which is very, very sad. Very, very sad indeed. Extremely sad indeed. These are the things that we must know and fight against. These are the things we must learn to fight against. If Yoruba allow themselves to be deceived by Fulani, that is their business. But as for us, we are not moving 1 inch from where we are. We want total disintegration of the zoo. Total disintegration of the damnable zoological republic. And what is happening? What is happening in Imo is also happening in Abia. Ibasu went, they gave him governor. They don't worry, we'll lead you back in. And Abia local government taken over by killer headsmen, bandits, and criminals. And you want us to allow them there? These are lawbreakers. The House of Reps on Tuesday told Inspector General of Police Mohammed Adamu that criminals, killer headsmen, and bandits have taken over all roads leading to Isukwato and Umunuchi, local government areas of Abia State. And some idiots are asking, there are people from Isukwato and Umunuchi in America. They are here eating hamburger and getting fat on the sweat of other people. They are in America, they are doctors, they are well successful people in America. But the road that leads to their father's compound has been blocked by Fulani terrorists. But they're in America having fun. They're in America. When we talk about ESN, they have nothing to contribute. There is no help. And I'm asking them, without ESN, who is going to defend this water? Who is going to stop them at human note? Who will do it? I'm asking them. In America, they're in America here. There is Isukwato meeting in America. Do you know that? Isukwato meeting is here in America. Ben, the meeting is here in America. Their homes are being taken over by Fulani terrorists. They're in America. They're enjoying in America. Now you want Trump to fight for you? You want American politicians to fight for you? They will ask you, where are you from? You say, Isukwato, what have you done? You are from Bend. What have you done to stop or to help those who are stopping them in your land? Nothing. You're in America. You're doing Black Lives Matter in America. Whereas the lives of those at Umunuchi doesn't matter. The lives of Isukwato people doesn't matter. When they call for a protest, Black Lives Matters in America, you come out. But when Fulani take over your land and ESN is fighting to save you, to save your ancestral home, you do nothing. In other house, you are looking at them to die, to sweat, to defend your land, and you're in America enjoying. God will punish all of you. I wish I can go to Isukwato meeting in America. I will tell them what they never expected to hear in their lives because they are stupid, very, very stupid. Set of idiots. Idiots. You are in America enjoying. Fulani bandits have taken over Isikwato. You are in America having fun. You are having fun in America. Useless set of people everywhere. You think you're smart. Look at a black man's brain. Look at how stupid you are. You are in America. You are from Bedder. Fulani, they are everywhere in our land. And you are attending a party. I have to close this program, honestly. Our people are very, very annoying. Sometimes, I don't know why Chukwu Gabiama gave me this very mission. I'm telling you the truth. You people make me sick. You make me very, very sick. There is a way an Igbo man does his sense and you begin to wonder. You know, there's a way you do sense, it becomes counterproductive. Like Ohanese's sense. You know Ohanese's sense. Look at where we are today. Have you, since Nyanwodo came out and spoke like a man, and they reminded him of when he came and knelt down to beg them to make him the president, has he not gone to sleep? You see, the life of Sabo and compromise is not good. Tanko Yakasai responded to him only once. Or is it Junaid? No, Junaid Mohammed, that talkative Alamajri. Junaid Mohammed responded to Modo only once, told Modo, I remember you coming to kneel before me to beg me to make you the president of Nigeria. And since that day, Modo hasn't spoken to you today. These are the idiots you call your leaders. You know, Hanese. These are the wretched refracts you call intellectuals. Men without shame and honor. How about you hear something? Can you say something about Nnamdi Kanu? You cannot. Can you say something about IPOB leadership? You cannot. When Fulani hear our names, they go into convulsion. That's how formidable we are. Look at Nyanwodo. He was backing like a pussycat. They reminded him of when he came to bed, he ran away. Has he spoken since then? That says no. Let me close this program, please. I'm not taking any calls or answering any questions. The people from Isikwato meeting in America, you should all be ashamed of yourselves. You shouldn't exist. All of you should not exist. Beg the meeting in America should be shut down. You have no right to exist. I'll be back in America in the summer. And I would like to meet some of you face to face to tell you in your face how stupid you are. You're in America enjoying people without shame and honor. Let me close the program, please, because I'm too upset to continue.